This episode is sponsored by Good Mead's Emporium, found on Etsy.com.
Look, I'm not entirely sure why you keep paying this gym fella a monthly fee. Instead of paying to go hang out at his place and look at heavy equipment being moved from one place to another by sweaty humanoids, come by Good Mead's Emporium. Over at Good Mead's Emporium, we've got miniatures and models which will absolutely make you feel fulfilled when you purchase, paint, and play with them. I guarantee you that painting six-pack abs on is infinitely easier than sculpting them out of your flesh. Head on over to Good Mead's Emporium on Etsy. New releases monthly. Hey, forget about it.
And I was thinking Pix, I was debating for a long time getting into Bard, but I hate the idea of slowing down her progression as a magic user. Or,
Do you think that Pix would, with her grades, do you think she'd be able to get into Bard?
That's pretty funny.
Oh, it was absolutely terrible.
50 Feet of Rope, a tabletop podcast of good friends throwing bad dice. Your cast: Adam plays Crow, who is a swashbuckler rogue.
I am hoping you have a story that you can tell me.
Brian plays Pix, who is a wild magic sorcerer.
I feel you're so cute, but I also want to vomit.
Chris plays Scraps, who is an alchemist articifer.
This is not scientific.
Josh plays Wally, who is a divination wizard.
Study. Magic.
Lindsey plays Salt, who is a gunslinger fighter.
Yeah, bro, you just gotta catch the cosmic wave just right.
And featuring Julien as the dungeon master.
I take deep, visceral pleasure in informing you that this time you do not get sneak attack.
This is Campaign 1, Shanties of the Astral Sea, a custom Spelljammer homebrew game developed by Julien himself. Episode 12, Rumble in the Jungle. The adventurers have learned of a mysterious apostate who keeps a valued relic deep in the jungle. Using their Spelljammer, the adventurers fly to the heart of the jungle, then make their way on foot. They cut through the dense undergrowth and scale large cliffs. Weary from their travels, they stumble into the lair of a massive fungal monstrosity who seeks to destroy them. The adventurers prepare for battle.
A massive creature of gray, mottled, dead flesh. Shot through it all, there is bits of bracken and broken pieces of wood, but growing from its back, like the gray part of a silverback gorilla, is massive mounds of fungal tissue, huge caps that shadow over it like parasols. They are pallid and white, unlike the multicolored and luminescent mushrooms that you've seen in the village. These are drained of vitality and light. They are just pale and in fact lighter than the flesh of the creature itself, which is again gray muck-like. It has no discernible head or rear end, but it has thickly muscled limbs that it uses to kind of lever itself up off of the ground as you're watching.
Is that part of the cycle? I cry to Thessalia.
And so we begin. Very first at the top of the order is Wally the Red, who is way back.
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up this far back. If I knew I was casting a spell and fucking Salt, I had to go like, I need to go get myself in trouble. I already counted. I am way over 120 feet away. Pretty much that is the outer limit of my spells. So I'm just gonna dash for a turn here, and I assume I heard something, like something tipped Wally off. Yes.
Has Salt said anything?
No, but they are uphill.
Oh yeah, you guys do have an elevation thing, so you do see.
This,
and this thing is huge, is what its specific classification is. So it is 15 feet long. So yeah, you can definitely see it from a distance.
I just dashed 50 feet, and Wally's like, "Holy shit! You see that giant mushroom?" I really wanted to cast a spell, but like 120 feet of range, so getting in. I'm in range now, and do something next turn. Carry on. That's my turn.
All right, that's Pix.
Oh my god, that thing is really ugly. And she sees Salt up there by himself, so she is going to take the dash action.
All right, Salt of the Starfallen.
You know what's really shitty?
What's really shitty?
When you're on the same side of a bridge as a giant fungal monster, and you don't have any bullets left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a choice.
You know, there was a time when we did say maybe you should not go across the bridge, Salt. We should wait.
I'm gonna take the dodge action.
You no sé.
Did I just hear that you don't have any bullets left?
I used 4. I used 2 per turn.
Why didn't you get more? We just started this combat.
So
Where
you're
would
taking.
I have gotten more?
I don't know.
I'm taking the dodge action because
You're
I want it
taking-
to come to me.
Well, at the end of your turn, it's going to use one of its legendary actions
Holy fuck.
to move
Legendary,
God,
not
it's got
lair.
legendary action. We're fucked.
5,
Doesn't have layer
10,
actions.
15, 20, 25, 30, moving its full speed.
Oh.
So this thing, it is huge and lumbering. It takes a second to kind of like dum, dum, turn its body around, kind of in place, marching. But once it gets oriented towards you, as you're kind of like warily staring at it to figure out what it's going to do next, it just suddenly locomotes towards you, its legs churning up loam, pounding the earth, and it rushes towards you bull-like, lowering down. The mushrooms are waving and wobbling on top of it as it's charging at you. And it smashes into your body. It does have disadvantage. So that is a miss, even if it had. It doesn't matter because it's still not a hit. So it rushes towards you and attempts to slam into you. You dodge out of the way at the last second. It skids to a halt and it just kind of stops there, just planted. It has almost no reaction afterwards. Scraps, it's your turn.
I am going to wait and hold my action until I see the mushroom taking offensive action against me or someone in my party.
You did just watch it rush towards Salt,
But
so that
didn't you say that it stopped before striking him or something?
he like stepped out of the way essentially, like he olayed it as a dodge.
Oh, okay. So it was clearly like coming toward it. Oh,
was-
okay. Well, then I'm just gonna send a firebolt at it then.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. All right.
So a firebolt is 120 feet. You can do it from there. So while he's loading, can I ask a question since I'm next?
Scraps missed, and that was his move.
All right. Okay. So then I'll put myself, I guess, here, and I'm however many feet up you say I am, and I'm going to target we're calling it the fungal guardian
Yeah, that's what it's called. What are you using to attack?
of my bow.
Yeah, which has a range of
320 at long.
328 long, so it's at disadvantage.
Yeah, that's not so good.
You also had no modifiers on it, but it would have missed regardless. The fungal guardian hunkers down. It starts to kind of knead its four limbs into the dirt rhythmically, lowering itself lower and lower. And once it's low enough, it actually starts to shake its body all over. And you watch as from the gills of the mushrooms, you watch as a fine spilling of spores and powder drift around it.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that.
We're fucked.
Bulbasaur uses stun powder.
They settle lightly on the ground around it. And as that happens, you, Salt, watch as one of these collections of desiccated bones and flesh that is sitting off to one side, kind of on the ground nearby it, begins to shudder and twitch. And it just all of a sudden just kind of and that stands upright next to it, and its body kind of twitches and jerks as it lifts itself out of the muck and mire of the leaf-littered ground.
You have to come.
And it is a husk zombie burster.
So now it's going to go 15, 20.
Wait, it can do that and then uplift itself and move?
It didn't root itself down, it just crouched.
Oh.
20, 25,
Attack of opportunity?
Yes, please do.
Burn the bridges!
Too late. That's a hit. Yeah, and you stab your rapier into it, and you watch as kind of like a thin, white, milky sap begins to drip out of part of its body.
Can we use the word ichor? I've always
35,
wanted to use the
40.
word ichor.
This is more sap-like, less Icarus. And that is its turn.
Icarus. That's funny.
Meanwhile, this creature that has arisen from the bodies of one of the fallen moves towards you, Salt, and...
Yes, something my own size. This is much more of my skill set.
And it is going to swipe at you with its claws twice. So that's a miss for the first attack, a miss for the second attack. So this creature just gets up into your space and is swiping at you with its claws, and you just dodging out of the way. It doesn't manage to land a hit on you. That's its turn. Thessalia is all the way in the back going, wait, what? What is that? Wally, it's your turn again.
Oh boy. All right, I'm going to do something that I have been waiting to do for a while. I'm going to cast Melf's Minute Meteors.
MILFs?
MILFs.
MILFs.
Melfs. MELF. All right, fine. If you guys want to call it, I mean,
No.
this kind of game. If you want to call it Melfs.
Not that kind of game.
The meteors I'd like to fire.
So I create 6 tiny meteors, and they float in the air and orbit me for the spell's duration, which is concentration or 10 minutes.
Wow.
As a bonus action, on each of my turns, I can expend 1 or 2 meteors and send them streaking towards a point or points that I choose within 120 feet. Once a meteor reaches its destination or impacts against a solid surface, it explodes, and every creature within 5 feet of that point makes a dex saving throw and takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. So it's like Fireball, but distinctly kind of cooler.
That's true. And a bunch of them.
And a bunch of them. So Wally's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get a little closer here. So I'm going to spend 2 meteors at this giant... 2 meteors at this giant thing that is like running ass toward us and save the other 4 for later.
That's a fail?
That's fail. But it still takes half of the damage. So it'll still take 2 damage. Yeah.
That's a success.
That's a success. Oh no!
Oh wait, those were saves. That's the saves. The first one was full damage, and the second
was full
one was
damage.
half
Second was whatever.
Yeah.
It took some fire damage. Wally waves his staff around his head, and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little rocks that he like loads into it and launches into the air over his head, and now there's like 6 little burning rocks floating around his head. And he goes, and sends 2 of them hurtling towards this giant fungus monster.
And as they impact on the side of it, they blow chunks of, pallid, pale, kind of spongy mushroom tissue off of it, and they fall hurtling down into the crevasse that it is bridging right now. And once you finish doing that, it once again kind of like plants its limbs down, and then in a burst of speed rushes in a straight line 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to Scraps, and just in this bull rush slams into him. That is a hit. Scraps, would you roll a strength saving throw, please?
A strength saving throw.
Yes, DC 15. That's a big old no.
And then we see a crow go flying.
You do. You watch as Scraps is knocked 5, 10 feet back and is knocked prone. So you're now on the ground, and it is standing there. It's eerie because this is not a mammal. It's not panting. It's not making any like breathing noises. It's just kind of standing there after this like sudden burst of movement. It's eerie how it's like movement and then complete stillness.
Pix, shove it off the cliff.
Pix, it is your
Use
turn.
your brain to shove it off the cliff.
Yeah, I wanted to do that when it was on the bridge, but Pix is like staring at it intently, and she's going to she's staring at it, and she's casting True Strike, just like kind of looking at it.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna get all of the information about it. You're aware. Is there a save for True Strike?
No,
Okay.
because I'm giving up my action.
You're aware clearly as you are staring at it. There's no head. This creature doesn't have the things that an animal has. You can tell that there's no brain to affect, and so there's nothing in it to frighten. And obviously, based on the fact that it is mostly composed out of dead tissue and fungal tissue, that it is not going to be affected by the kind of poisonous stuff that other living creatures might be affected by. You also get the impression that because of its like super pale, unhealthy color, that if this were full daylight right now, it would really not enjoy that. Like, it would actually be suffering if it were in daylight.
Hey guys, it poison stuff doesn't work on it, and I think it's vulnerable to daylight. And is it on like an edge of something, or is it just?
It's about like 10, 15 feet away from the edge of that crevasse.
Oh, all right. The most I can do is push it back. So let's just push it back. That's 16 strength check on its part.
Right. Which it gets exactly 16.
Oh. All right, I'm backing up.
It's going to use its final legendary action to charge at Wally the Red, and it's going to make its slam attack at him.
Fuck's sake.
That's a hit at 23. Oh, I forgot to give you poison damage, Scraps, so I'm going to do that right now. I'll give you both the poison damage that you showed.
Oh, we wouldn't want to forget that.
Cool. You take the poisoning and the piercing damage as thorns from its body stab into you from it rushing and smashing into your body. So Wally, can you make a strength saving throw?
All right, that's going to be a -1.
It's a -1.
Geez.
You fly back 10 feet and you are prone.
Okay. Do I have? Oh, but I didn't take damage.
You did take damage. You just also fly back and are prone.
Right. But how much damage did I take?
Yeah, you took 16 damage.
Oh no, I did show that. So I have to make my con save.
Oh, to keep your spell going, correct.
God damn it! Right. So 9 doesn't work.
No, it does not. So
I can use portent to make that roll an 11.
You certainly can.
My fucking miniature meteors spinning around my head.
Yes, you
Wally
can.
Clangs his head on a rock. He's seeing stars, and the meteors start to fall to the ground. But he just, like, through force of will, like, pushes his hands up and keeps these 4 little flaming rocks spinning above his head.
That is Wally's turn, and now we're at Salt's turn.
I will engage the husk zombie of huskiness.
That's a hit.
19 to hit. Much higher than 19 to hit.
Yes, also a hit.
Alrighty. So I slash, smash, and that's my turn.
It looks pretty bad. It looks pretty messed up after you did all of that damage to it. It is now Scraps' turn. Go ahead.
I would like to throw another firebolt at it, please.
No.
It looks like the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls. Yes, I would be. So I will then stand up first.
So it uses 15 feet of your movement. And are you going to move anywhere, or are you going to stay where you are?
I'm probably going to stay where I am, yeah.
Okay. So that's let's do your firebolt. 19 and a 20. Both of them would hit, so it doesn't matter. And that's your fire damage. 2 10s for a total of 23. That's a big swing.
So you don't like sunlight. How do you like alchemical fire?
Yeah, you do watch as like parts of it shrivel and blacken as the fire just immediately consumes those parts. And it like very abruptly kind of like twitches and shudders, but still makes no noise. Scratch,
and then I'm going to command my golem to fly past the beast and drop a 5-pound weight on connected to me with a rope on the other side of the plant monster.
Okay, cool. That's
Like,
your turn.
And the golem could drop it from the air.
Yeah,
such
yeah.
that it's not
That's fine.
flying like right past the plant monster.
Yep. Crow, go for it.
Okay, well, then where I am, I guess, since I'm here at 40 feet up, I'm just going to attack, retarget it. I guess I'm just going to attack it. That's a hit.
That is a hit.
So he gets this for damage. I'll take that. That's okay. It's fair.
All right.
And then I guess because I'm at this yard, how high up am I?
You're about, like 40 feet up, yeah.
All right, I'm going to take all 40 feet and come to the base of the tree, and then next round I can't use my feline action in addition to unless I stay still for a turn. But at least I'm at the bottom of the tree.
Okay.
And that's it.
So you're like here, basically.
And that's it for me.
Okay, cool. It's the Fungal Guardian's turn. And yeah, once again, it's going to kind of like... Actually, it has to move over here to do this. So it goes 5, 10, 15, 20... I have to 25, 30. It hunches down again, gets real close to the earth, and it starts to shake again. And you watch as more of these like fungal spores begin to drift down out of its body. And as it does so, there's again a body begins to shake and twitch its way out of and pulls itself out of the muck and mire, out of the leaf loam, and just and there it is, standing suspended, its body kind of reanimated by these fungal spores, and it's going to, before it ends its turn, move 5, 10.
Wow, it has that much movement? That's 40.
It has 40, yeah.
Holy shit.
Over there, and then that is the end of its turn. This guy is going to take a swing at Salt of the Starfallen, this husk zombie over here. That's its first attack.
Okay, so like one of those I think hits.
Only one of those, the 17, because that was chronologically the correct order. I shouldn't have rolled that 8. Does that much slashing damage, 9 slashing damage to you, as it just is kind of like mindlessly flailing its limbs at you, just in this very mechanical way. Thessalia sees you get like knocked all the way back, you, Wally, and immediately rush up to you, Wally, and go, "Hold on, I've got you!" And she puts her hands on you, dwarfing you because you're, very, very small. I guess she halflings you. And she is going to cast Cure Wounds on you.
Oh, sweet! That's awesome!
for only 4, but she does help.
That's like a quarter of my health.
And then she scooches back just that 5 feet, and then she's done. That is her turn done, and we're back at the top of the order to Wally.
All right, so Wally's got like these 4 flying orbs around his head, and then he takes his staff with the sling on the end, and he pulls something out of his pouch. You can't quite see what it is, and he reaches back and he flings it, and it goes and goes and goes, and it creates a giant explosion where it hits the ground. Both them motherfuckers completely fail their saves. And
look at all those
my
dice.
god, I always roll terrible on
that's
Fireball.
so low.
How do you get a 15 on 8d6s?
Low.
How do you get a 15? Oh my god.
What is it like? Is that like half the average?
1, 2, 4.
That's half the average or worse. Hold on, is there any, I've got so many reroll things.
I was going to can't use luck for
None
that.
of them are to reroll damage.
Nope.
None of
The
them are to
average,
reroll
I
damage.
believe the expected outcome is 28.
Okay, so
So-
not
3.5
quite half.
times 8, whatever that is.
That was an epically terrible.
Yeah,
roll.
exactly. 3.5 times 8. It's 28. Yep.
So
Okay,
he
well,
does.
anyway,
You do watch as a bead of light goes streaking away from Wally's hand, and then it just flies into the middle of the two of them, and you're expecting this like, but instead it's more of like
It's a direct hit.
and it does it singes them, it burns them, but neither one of them looks devastated. They do look hurter than before.
I got 2 meteors that I can use this turn as bonus action still. So we're gonna cast one of them at the husk zombie. I get.
Oh, those are very low rolls. Those are very low rolls.
I got a 3 and a 6. Average is 7. All right,
but it is looking bad. It is looking bad.
Yeah. Yep.
At the end of your turn, the fungal guardian is going to use 2 legendary actions.
Of course it is.
He doesn't have to bother killing Wally. Wally's just going to die out of shame.
It hunches down again, and this time you watch as it like the shaking is even more vigorous, and instead of the very like fine white spores that it was shedding before, now it's almost like these kind of iridescent rainbow shimmering spores that are falling out in either direction. If Pix and Wally could both make Constitution saves DC 12.
Oh, you guys are rolling garbage.
I got a 13.
A 13 and a 4. So you, Pix, succeed. You accidentally inhale some of this, but like you immediately start sputtering it out. Wally, you don't pass, and so you are
taking a deep breath.
You inhale. You're like, I could have thrown it a little bit better, and then you are confused for an amount of time, and I will when it comes up next time, we will figure it out. All right, Pix, it is your turn.
Pix starts saying a bunch of obscenities, screaming at the fungal thing. She's like, yeah, and then she just like charges it.
Oh shit!
2, 3, 4, and like right when she's here, she misty steps, and she is over here, behind it.
Okay. Roll. Give me a D20 roll real quick.
Yep. Here you go.
You accidentally misty steps back to the ship.
Well, interesting. So you guys all watch as like the arcane energy that Pix has summoned up all of these times. Like Pix frequently is able to just kind of be in many places and disappear from one place and be in another. You've watched many times as like this kind of golden light just swallows her up, and then she poofs into existence somewhere else as glitter expands away from her. So you're all watching with anticipation as the golden light swallows her up, and she's gone. Pix, you are invisible and silenced for 1 minute.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh!
It means you can't cast any spells that
means
require
you
verbal.
Exactly right. Oh
no
my
verbal
God.
component spells. That's true. But you are invisible for a minute, so that's nice.
So she reappears, turns around, looks at herself and is like, what the hell? And she goes to cast a firebolt, and nothing comes out.
Is there a verbal to firebolt?
There is, yeah.
Oh shit!
And so for the rest of her turn, she is whipping her hand back and forth to throw a firebolt, and nothing is happening, and she is completely confused.
I whip my hand back and forth. I whip my hand back and forth.
Oh,
I hate you now. Well, I hate you more now.
Salt, it's your turn.
Stab. That hits.
As you drive your rapier into it, and you like stab it, and immediately, like with puppet strings cut, it just goes slack. There's no out breath. There's just like, and then you notice that it's kind of like the stomach area is slowly like bubbling and building up and ballooning outwards.
Nope. I'm moving.
Then all of a sudden it explodes outwards, bursting with like dried rotten viscera, but also like huge amounts of mushroom spores in every direction. So that is on you, a Constitution save, which you do pass.
With flying fucking colors.
And it gives you half that amount of damage as this massive cloud of poison engulfs you for a moment and then settles to the ground.
Not cool.
It is, of course, dead, though. That's your turn over, and Scraps, it's your turn.
All right. I am casting Catapult. Now, can you describe exactly where my homunculus has carried the rope to, or can I tell you how I would like him to have done it?
Well, I remember that it was standing like 10 feet further away, and it basically as I understood it, you had it drop it kind of like
on the other side of the homunculus.
Yeah,
on the other side of the plant monster.
I imagined you dropped it kind of in that square.
So I'm then casting catapult, sending it to the bottom right corner of the map, so sort of like the southeast.
Got it.
The idea here is that one of two things is going to happen. Either this weight is going to completely knock this thing down, giving it potentially the prone condition, or maybe if it does an even better job, it's going to, because of the way the force is working here, it could also wrap the rope around the fungal monster.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm hoping that would perhaps give it like the restrained or grappled conditions.
So
as the rope wraps around its legs and sends it down.
I see where you're going with this. All right. So the rope is attached to you, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's like I have more slack. It won't like.
Yeah. And you're sending it.
And
you're sending it catapulting down. All right. So what I want you to do, I want you to roll the normal catapult attack at the fungal guardian. It's a dex save, which it failed. Okay, great.
Okay, nice.
So I'm now. How do I want to roll this? How do I want to play this? Scraps, I want you to roll a DC 12 strength save.
Oh, a strength save. Okay.
Because you're anchoring the other end of the rope.
Oh man.
Okay.
Incredible.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now, what happens is this. This was what I had in my mind. If you had succeeded at it, it would have meant that you basically like held.
That was a natural one for our listeners.
For our listeners, it was a nat one. What I would have, in my mind, what was going to happen was if you had enough strength to like hold the rope in place as it winged past, because like you're essentially trying to trip this thing, right? But the rope needs to have enough tension to actually like do something. Otherwise, it's just a rope like that flops against its legs, and you need to provide the anchor point. So the strength saving throw was to see if you remain on your feet when you attempt what you attempt. You don't. So what ends up happening is this. Here's what happens is this.
Don't.
The catapult goes flying. The weight catches around it as a fulcrum point and swings around. It is going to be restrained. Like, I am going to say that. But you also get pulled this way by 5 feet, and you're again prone.
All right. I will use my bonus action to command my golem to assist Wally, who is right next to it.
Okay. It is currently restrained. Let me just put that on it, because that might matter for something.
So, because attack rolls against it have advantage, it's actually a waste of my action to have the golem assist Wally in its next attack. Instead, can I use my bonus action to take a potion?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm going to take one of my experimental elixirs of boldness.
Oh, Fantasy Cialis. All right, cool. Is that your turn?
I wish I had taken my elixir of boldness before this combat.
May your rope never go slack, my friend.
Wow, that turned out to be weirdly prescient. Yeah, my rope did not go slack.
That was the problem.
That was the problem.
All right. That's Scraps' turn done. This zombie is going to 15, 20, 25, 30. Can't get any further than that. Crow, it's your turn.
Fungal Guardian seems to be restrained?
It is.
Well then, you get an attack, because I don't like you. You are not nice to my friends. Should be an advantage? Yes, it is. Excellent.
That is a miss.
I would like to use my luck point. Thank you very much. And I would like to reroll that attack.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Also, at advantage.
That is a hit.
So he will take this. And he will take this. Not so bad.
Not so bad. It's looking a little rough.
But now, I will use my cunning action, and I will move away.
The fungal guardian can't go anywhere. Nope, it's going to use its action to get out of the ropes. So it's going to make a strength check to do so. We got to come up with a DC for your ropes. I'm going to give it fairly high because they're like ship ropes. I'll say it's like DC 15 to just break through them, which it handily does.
These ropes cannot be torn by any force conceivable to, Scrap says, as well.
As the ropes burst apart.
Fuck.
It like stretches and flexes its body, and it is free. But that did use its action to do so.
Did anyone get advantage against it as it was?
Yeah. Crow did.
Good.
Crow did repeatedly.
Nice.
It mattered. It mattered.
It mattered.
My luck point off.
That's its turn. Thessalia is here, and what is she gonna do? Yeah, I think she's gonna help Wally.
Isn't Wally also confused?
Yes.
Wally is confused, but she might not. I don't think she knows that. She's going to dart in, and she's going to touch him with her hand, and she's going to cast Bark Skin on him. So Wally, his pink, freshly washed little baby face suddenly is grown over with like thick, craggy bark. His body becomes sort of wooden and has these like growths coming out of it, and his durability increases.
That's good.
So your AC is now 16.
Okay.
And then she's going to 5, 10, 15, 20 her way back that way.
Quite brave.
Wally's had quite the fungal experience here.
She's also like half you guys' level. Wally, it is your turn.
I'm confused. What does that mean?
Yeah, what that means is, well, let me give you your temporary AC boost. What that means is, we are going to roll for you a D10 to determine what your biz is all about. So, do you want to roll it or shall I?
Is all about. I would love to roll it for myself.
Please do.
Master of my own Destiny. It's 10.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. You can act and move normally. You shake your head. You clear the hallucinations away from you. You've just had a recent hallucinatory experience, so you're actually. Yeah, you're doing all right.
I haven't felt this fucked up since last night. All right. Come on, little bitch. Let's go. Alright, I'm gonna scorching ray this motherfucker in front of me here. Ain't no use running away. 1 and damage. 2 and
that's a hit.
Damage. 3.
And that's a miss.
A hit.
Nope, because I'm gonna turn it into an 11 with portent. And
Is
it'll
that
be a hit.
And that's a hit. So that's 3 hits. It looks pretty bad. I mean, you guys watch as Wally using his staff is just winging these lines of burning force. Like he'll flick the stick and then immediately start to flick it in another one. But where he whipped the stick from, this line of fire just kind of pauses for a second and then streaks in and starts burning away parts of this creature.
Anyways, I'm gonna cast my last 2 minute meteors right in between the husk zombie and the fungal guardian in order to hit them both.
Do it.
So we're gonna do that and damage.
That's a little better.
And we're gonna with that and damage. And
not so much.
Not so much, but
it's definitely looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty banged up. It is going to use its legendary action. Oh wait, no, did it use it before?
Which one?
You're supposed to keep track of that shit.
Yeah, I know, I am supposed to keep track of it.
For like the fungus spray.
Yeah, and then we're at the top of the order, so it can't because it's already used them all. Actually,
it's gonna die otherwise.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna use
lair action.
Its legendary resistance for that second Melf meteor that you used to turn that into a success, so that's only half damage. Yeah, it actually got it both times. So I'm gonna use 2 of those to turn those into successes rather than failures. So that's only 6 damage rather than 12. That's Wally's turn, and Pix.
Yeah, Pix realizes that she cannot say anything. And she's, she goes to swear, but nothing comes out. But she stares at the zombie and the guardian, and she casts hypnotic pattern on them.
Oh, you have 2 spells that you can use.
And she's going to be using a sorcery point, 3 sorcery points on the fungal guardian to save at disadvantage.
Save at disadvantage. All right, go ahead and I'll roll the save for it at disadvantage.
All right.
Brian,
so
do you need to speak in order to push or pull somebody 5 feet?
it's basically mage hand, so let me check.
They both failed.
They both failed, but I'm going to use the last legendary resistance for the fungal guardian to have it succeed.
You son of a bitch.
I'll be honest with you. I forgot that I had those because I have not used any legendary creatures for you guys before.
It doesn't say whether it's basically the mage hand cantrip. So is mage hand, is that a vocal? I mean, it's supposed to be telekinetic. I don't think there was any. Wait a minute. You learn mage hand you cast it without the verbal or somatic components.
Oh, well then. In which case, you can cast it normally.
What are you thinking?
Well, I can't see you, but I would love to be 5 feet closer.
Oh, all right.
Can't see you or hear you. So Salt's just running on the bridge.
Yeah. Of game, I would love to be closer, Brian, if that was a thing that crossed your mind at any point.
Pix turns around and sees Salt coming up, and she's like, and pushes him up.
Salt, for no reason, you feel a massive shove against your ass that sends you 5 feet further forward. Now, let's resolve the hypnotic pattern. What does it do to the husk zombie?
Hypnotic pattern, 30. Each creature in the area on a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. While charmed, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0. The spell ends and affected creature takes damage.
Okay, so the husk zombie is currently charmed.
It's watching like a disco ball in front of him floating around, and like the Bee Gees, like in their white glitter jumpsuits behind it, you know, like dancing and singing Staying Alive.
And you just watch as the zombie kind of like almost starts to imitate the motions. Just, which is ironic because it's a zombie. Salt, your turn.
Let's do something different. Salt's gonna pull out a hand axe and give the zombie a little handy. It hits.
That's a hit for 18 and 5 damage. It looks pretty bad. It looks really like it suddenly comes out of that that weird mental headspace because of you doing damage to it, but it looks like it is basically just threads holding it together.
Question, would he be able to attack at advantage, being it was in a stupor?
Yeah, I suppose so. Do you want to roll again just to see if that would have been a crit?
Sure.
No.
It would not have been.
No, but I do have a second hand axe, and I do have a second attack.
So go for it. That's a hit.
Fuck yeah. All right.
And the hand axe just end over end and into its skull, and it just, again, like a marionette, just drops straight to the ground.
Yeah. Killing zombies. Do, 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 do.
Scraps, it is your turn.
Time for a firebolt. Pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good
Is it
stuff.
enough?
Not dead yet.
But is it enough? I would like to stand up and then command my golem to assist Crow. Thing is going next, is that right?
He is. So, Crow, it's your turn, and you're attacking at advantage.
It is quite enough of this plant thing. I am not a vegetarian. I would say I'm not a vegetarian because I like animals. It would be because I don't like plants.
That's a hit.
And we'll take this one first. And then we'll take that one. Oh, it's not so bad. And then, again, if I need to, I will remove myself.
That is your turn. So as Crow goes into dart, you actually you're being helped by this buzzing clockwork geared brass frog with wings that darts around, and it shows you a weak point, and you stab at that place, and then it goes flitting off again to rejoin Scraps. The fungal guardian's going to act, and it's going to go over...
I like imagining that its eyes are like little laser pointers that point out where you can put your rapier.
I just think of the little clockwork owl from Clash of the Titans.
It's going to go over here because that's where these guys are, and it's going to again crouch onto the ground, and it's going to shudder and shake as more spores flit down off of its body. And 2 zombies come pushing up out of the ground in this spot over here as their bones are stitched together by fungal material.
Paul just goes, come on!
Oh, fuck's sake.
And that is its turn, and that this guy gets to go, and oh shit, I hate to do this, but it's gonna go for Thessalia. That's a miss with the first attack, and a miss with the second as Thessalia, no, get away! Just scrambles back and kind of, on her bum, just manages to avoid it. Meanwhile, number 4, oh, and that's a crit. That is a nat 20 on that attack on Thessalia, and so it does this much damage. They're like swarming her and crawling around her. Thessalia is frantically scrambling back, and they're just swinging wildly with these like horrible misshapen broken bone fingers. And the last one just gets a lucky hit and just digs straight into her neck, spine, and blood begins to pour furiously down the front of her body. Oh no! That's her turn. That's actually her turn now. Yeah, I think she's panicked. She's pretty low level. She's actually gonna run. She's gonna go 5.
She's
10.
low level. She's lower level than we are.
Yeah, she's only
by like half.
She's level 3. They both get attacks of opportunity on her. That's a hit. That's 1 hit, and that's a crit. So that one actually just like overextends, falls on the ground.
Is it prone?
It is prone. That one just like drops down like as it clumsily leaps at her to try to get to her. And Thessalia goes over here, and has taken some damage. She's bleeding. You can see that along her back there's claw marks that rake down her sides from running away. And that's Wally's turn. Go ahead.
First off, how the fuck am I still alive?
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. Wally. Point of order. Did you I didn't have you redo the Constitution saving throw at the end of your turn, did I?
No.
No.
Okay, can you do me a favor and just re-roll that Constitution 12 saving throw?
I certainly can. Voice of God.
It's at the end of every one of your turns. That is a 20 total success. You shake off the effects of the hallucinogen, and you are able to act freely this turn. Go ahead.
All right, so first off, how the fuck am I still alive? And second off, no one messes with my coffee making oven shop. He's gonna mind spike a bitch, and it actually fucking succeeds a wisdom saving throw.
That's
Jesus Christ!
Very shocking.
And this thing's not dead yet. Holy guacamole! And I'm out of miniature meteors.
Well, it's half of that, so it's 6. So it's 133. All right, yeah. Okay,
well, it already did it. So, this is really unbelievable. I can't kill this thing. Why is nobody helping me? I'm standing here, going toe to toe with something that is literally 7 times taller than I am.
At the end of your turn, it's going to use both of its legendary actions.
Oh, fuck off!
And it's actually
crush me into a paste.
No, actually, not to do that.
Oh,
it's going to again. It like crouches down, and this time it actually like when it shakes the fungal spores out of its body, it actually like you can see that these are like giant fat spores. Like you can visibly see them, and wherever they touch your skin. Wherever they touch like the foliage around it, it begins to darken and burn. So go ahead and roll for me a DC 12 con save. Actually, I can roll it for you if you'd like.
15.
And that is half damage on a save, and you are not poisoned for 1 minute. So that's nice.
Yeah, fuck off! No one kills the Wally! No one fucks with my elephant friend!
Wally's turn is that it for you?
Well, I don't know what else I'm going to do. What? Am I going to walk away so I get, like, attack of opportunity?
If you like.
I mean, the DM's not attacking me when I just stand here. So what possible incentive do I have to move away?
I mean, it did just, like, sploot a whole bunch of poison dust at you. But yeah, Pix, go ahead. It's your turn.
Pix is running and screaming Thessalia's name to no one.
Thessalia, you do watch. Salt, you do watch as little dark footprints in the loam get like pushed down, running away from you.
Inky.
And she starts concentrating and thinking about like spikes growing up and grabbing all the creatures and to hold them down. And she casts spike growth.
Yes.
What?
It's actually Nather's mischief.
Oh. All right, Nather's mischief. So we got to roll a D8, right? Each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom or begin giggle. These things don't giggle. All right.
What?
All right.
It undulates.
So it's wisdom saving throws for all three of them, right? Okay. Here's the wisdom save for that, which is a nope. What the fuck? Here's the wisdom save on this guy, which is going to absolutely be a fail. Yup, that's a fail too with a 4. And this guy gets a save as well and also fails. So all three of them are incapacitated and will use their movement to go in random directions.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is that sunlight next to the fungal guardian?
So where it is hold on, I will show you. You can see in the light, this is where that border of sunlight is. Mm-hmm. Or actually it's like right that.
So I can push it then, right?
You absolutely can. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. We're going to push it into the sunlight.
Fuck yeah.
It's strength DC 16.
DC 16 strength saving throw?
Yep.
And that is a 15, so it fails, and it gets bumped over this way. I kind of like the imagery where it's going to flatten these two down to the ground because it's huge and they're not. So you guys watch as from nowhere, the massive mush is like a huge glowing golden hand manifests out of nowhere and just like wraps around part of the mushroom, the fungal guardian, and just shoves it over, and it ends up in here. And you watch as the sun, where it touches on that corner, the mushrooms begin to darken and wrinkle and contract and become desiccated in the light of the sun.
And I'm going to roll on my wild magic table. That was a 2nd level spell slot.
Okay, great. Salt, it's your turn.
So not knowing Pix has done anything, technically, I'm going to go with my original plan of dashing. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
You just walked into the mischief zone. You have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah, you can see the zombies on their backs are just like, but the fungal guardian doesn't have lungs, so the fungal guardian is just kind of like stoically standing there, but you can see it's kind of like rocking back and forth a little bit.
All right, so I run up, screaming, "You do not hurt Thessalia!" And I use my Dauntless Roar as my bonus action.
Thessalia is going to love to watch this.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to replay this memory for a long time, Salt.
And...
Yep, that's fails, and a success, and so they're frightened.
Yes. And now I roll a wisdom save to see if I'm giggling after roaring at them.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm a lion.
Oh.
Which you failed with an 11, yeah.
All right.
So you just Salt dashing up, just well,
that was almost heroic.
Is that your full turn?
That is my full turn.
All right, Scraps, your turn.
Firebolt. Nice.
And swing and a miss with a 1.
Yeah,
I am going
unfortunately.
to. How bad does it look?
It looks pretty bad.
I'm gonna have my golem attack it.
So I'm just go ahead and just roll your firebolt to attack it, because that'll be the correct spell attack modifier.
Thank you.
Which it does not. With
Scraps is going to get a little closer, though. I guess as long as I'm.
You run into some invisible thing, like you bump into a solid object in front of you that you can't see.
What was that?
Yeah, Pix. Scraps runs like directly into your ass and then continues around the other side of you.
Can I roll a perception to see that if I get close to this thing, something weird might happen?
Yeah, you can take a. Go ahead. Yeah, it seems like when Salt got really close, he started acting a little funny.
Salt is within 5 feet of it?
Yes.
I will drop my rapier, draw my bow, and fire at the fungal guardian. That should still be a sneak attack, and I'm not going to get close. But if I have to reach down and grab my rapier, that's an action on another turn.
That's a miss.
All right, then. And then I am going to, I guess, move towards the Thalia in case God forbid, something bad happens and I have to try and use an aid action. All right, that's my turn.
All right. It is the Fungal Guardian's turn, and because of the effect that is its turn now, and I'm going to roll a d8 to determine the random direction it's going to go in because it is confused by Pix's thing. So that's 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to run back. Wally and Salt can get attacks of opportunity if they want.
Oh, fuck yeah!
This might be the first time I've made a melee attack. Hold on, let me figure out where I'm at. Here we go. Quarterstaff. Kabang!
That's a miss.
Oh, I missed.
Oh,
and
shit.
that's a crit!
I critted!
Not 20!
I'm going to use a luck point to reroll, because why not? I want to hit something. I hit!
That's it! Nope, still a miss.
Oh.
17 is a miss for... Oh, Jesus.
Its AC is 18.
I love how you rolled a 0 for the damage.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It actually showed the 0.
15.
Oh, God, we gotta chase that thing? Oh,
It is...
Mike.
I've been chasing it the entire time!
It is still in sunlight, so that's that. Its turn is over. Husk Zombie... Alright, this guy has to roll a d8 to see which direction it rolls.
It's prone.
It's a 1, so it's going to run straight this way. And this one is going to use half of its movement to get up, and it's going to run...
Oh, I hope the one runs into the Whomping Willow. That would be super.
And that's its turn done. Thalia is bleeding and just kind of like, oh my god, and sees this thing approaching and is actually going to... You guys watch as she's standing there and you see her stiffen, like steel her resolve, and all of a sudden, all across her body, starting from the crown of her head and sweeping down, there's a rolling tide of black. Not like black ooze, but just like all of a sudden someone took the hue slider on her skin tone and just turned it straight to like pitch midnight black. And once that's happened, then the blackness reaches the very bottom of her toes. And I mean like her clothing turns black too. Everything she's holding turns black. And then from her feet come 1,000 tiny pinpricks of light that begin to move their way upwards along her clothing, her skin, and then finally across her face. And her whole body is suffused in starlight.
That's fucking awesome.
And she draws her hands together in front of her and pulls one hand back, and you all watch as like spectral glimmering starlight, almost like dust caught in the sun in a sunbeam, begin to form the shape ethereally of a bow. And an arrow is drawn back from it. And she lets it go, and you watch as a tiny dart of starlight leaves her hands and smashes into that one zombie, dealing it 10 damage. And she just is like, and she looks at you, Crow, and just goes, "Don't let it get me, okay?"
I will help you.
And Wally, it's your turn.
All right, Wallace is just firing off magic missile, okay? Bingo, bango, bongo.
Look at all those fucking 4s!
Why couldn't you do that earlier? Can you describe to me what it looks like when these magic missiles finally destroy this thing.
Oh shit! So while he's swinging this around his head, and he's like, "I'm so sick of this fucking thing not dying," and he sends a beam of light at it. The first one just like and kind of singes it, and then the second one right behind it burns a hole, just blasts a hole in this thing, and the third one coming from a different angle, kind of like drills a hole through it from another angle, and the whole thing just kind of like, bunch of little chunks and pieces as it loses structural stability and tears apart and collapses into a heap on the forest floor.
And there is a spreading cloud of mushroom spore dust that floods away from it as it does collapse inwards on itself until it eventually settles down to the ground. It is no more. Pix, your turn. You're still invisible for a little while longer.
All right. Pix pulls out her crossbow, which she hasn't used in a long, long time. Like the Fae had taught her the basics of using it, but she never wanted to touch it. And now she's just like, oh God, this is irritating. She moves up just to get a clear line of sight, targets the husk near Visalia, takes aim with the stupid thing, and fires. So.
Oh yeah, you actually hit it. Its AC is only 10. Yeah, it looks bad. It looks rough, but it's still up and kicking, as it were. To Salt of the Starfallen, who has to roll a d8 to determine what direction he goes in. 7. So you're going to go your full move speed northwest. Salt. That thing's going to take an attack of opportunity on you, which misses. All right, cool. What are you doing for your action?
All right, I'm gonna move back over here.
That is 2 hits.
Nice. Damage?
Not too shabby with that stabby.
Still fucking standing though.
Scraps, you're up.
Here come the fireballs. Firebolts. Yay!
That's a hit. Bonus action?
Singed kitty.
How's
Here
it
we
looking?
go.
That one that you just attacked doesn't look that badly hurt.
Oh wow! Despite the 15 damage that I did to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks scorched, but it doesn't look like too terribly badly off. The other one, meanwhile, the one next to you, Salt, looks like it is barely held together by its sinews.
Yeah.
Then that is the one homunculus is going to attack now. Can I roll another firebolt for that?
Yeah. Roll for the homunculus attack.
I hate to see
just a miss. All right, moving on to Crow. It is your turn.
So I look at Thessaly and say, back up if you must, if a little bit. If you can heal yourself, we will clean up this mess.
Thank you, Crow.
And then I move to here. I'm going to stay back by Thessalia because I dropped my rapier. And I'm
Yes, you did.
So, but doesn't matter. I still have somebody close to him, so I'm going to attack him with my short bow.
That's a hit.
Oh, good. He's going to take this. Is that enough? And that.
Yes, it is. It's exactly enough to kill it because it literally had 1 HP left. And so you fire a bolt into the back of it, and you watch as it immediately kind of like slumps down, like dropping its weight down into its hips. And again, Salt, you're facing it, so you don't get to see this as clearly, Crow, but Salt, you watch as its belly begins to puff and expand and stretch, and the skin then splits and gives way with a bang, and you are sprayed again with like thick, viscous innards and also a huge amount of fungal material.
Man, some guys get all the fun.
So that's your con save, which you do succeed, and you take half damage.
Holy shit!
Which is another fucking 10 damage.
That is an amazing amount of damage to roll for an NPC. Fantastic.
Jesus.
But it is indeed dead.
Thanks, Crow.
This guy finishes, and he's going to run down here and is going to take his first attack at Scraps and hit Scraps, does damage, and is also going to attack Pix with its second swing. Oh no, Pix is invisible. Has no idea that Pix is there. Gonna do both attacks on Scraps, and that's a miss. So just kind of like you see it standing there. It's like, and it starts sprinting towards you, Scraps, and gets there and just starts flailing away at you, clawing at your body, doing a little bit of damage. Thessalia is still kind of in this this nighttime form, and she again draws her hands together and pulls back the spectral arrow as she looses another arrow at this guy over here with a crit and does 14 radiant damage. So Scraps, as this thing is flailing away at you, you watch as a beam of starlight travels from across the jungle and impacts into the back of this thing, and actually like holy light kind of just blazes around it, and its flesh is burned as this arrow then dissipates into nothingness. Wally, your turn.
Yo, Wally's sick of this shit. Wally's not having none of this. So Wally's just walking up to this burster here. He's just gonna shocking grasp it. He's just going up and he's like just grabbing it. He's gonna blow that shit up.
Boy, that is a choice.
Yeah,
that's a hit.
It is. That's mightily a hit.
All three of you are making Constitution saves. Success, and failure.
As Wally inhales the spores. Alright, Wally just grabs it, blows over, and he just breathes that shit in. He wants to see if he can get high off it.
Pix, you watch as Wally just kind of comes up and plants his hand right on this zombie, and it suddenly jerks and goes rigid as electricity floods through its body. And then you watch as, again, this entire stomach and chest cavity expand like a giant balloon, and it bursts open, spraying you all with disease. Wally, inhaling all of this virulence, all of this like poisonous material, you watch him just go like, "Ha!" and his eyes roll back and he drops straight to the ground.
This was a 50 Feet of Rope production. You can find us at 50feetofrope.com. If you like the show, please consider subscribing and leaving a review.